Okay, setting up our Instagram holiday stress, internal dialogue decreases your burn rate, right? How do we stop our magnesium from just exiting our body? Because that's what stress does. Cortisol pushes magnesium out of your body. When you lose magnesium, your bones become brittle, your brain doesn't function, your blood sugars, your heart, your pancreas, every single thing in your body is affected. The key, voltage. Voltage, voltage, voltage is what we want to focus on. Now here's the thing, if you need studies, this one isn't from a study. A lot of times, because I love researching studies, and studies are only as good as the knowledge that we have at the time. This is not from a study. This is from 25 years of watching my inner dialogue and watching other women with their inner dialogue and what has made a difference for them and what's made it easy. And here is what I have found. And my camera's going wonky. Here's what I've found. When your voltage is strong, inner dialogue becomes easier to manage. Oh, I should have done this. Oh, I wish it were like this. Oh, Kristen, don't do that. Or why'd you do this? Or why'd you say that? Or I'm not enough. I didn't do enough there. It shows up in so many ways. Some people are aware of their inner dialogue. And I have met over the last 25 years, I have met a handful of people that say they don't struggle with it. A lot of people do, myself included. And I want that journey to be easier. And I have put so much energy into making it better. And if I would have understood the concept of voltage, it would have been a much shorter pathway to train my brain into not going down that rabbit hole of negativity and being as kind to myself as I would be someone else. And it's all about voltage. What is voltage? Voltage is your body's ability to light up like a light bulb and function. And if you have low voltage, you'll have low energy and your light will be dim. It's interesting to me, there is a physical, tangible difference that you can see in people when their voltage is strong. You can like, when you walk into a room and you can tell there's been an argument, when you're around someone that their voltage is strong versus being around them when their voltage is weaker, there's a difference that most people can pick up on. They might not say, oh, your voltage is weak. They might not have that verbiage, but you can tell the difference. How do we get our voltage up? How do we change our voltage? It's pretty simple, and it's the foundation of everything in our body. And it is magnesium, salt. This is my favorite, my current favorite. And this has been my favorite for ever since I started talking about magnesium. So these three things right here, let me see if I can hold all those up, give you a visual. These three things right here are what create voltage in your body. This is what creates the voltage. This is what gives you the ability to light up and how bright you are, on how effective your cells work. And I did this for years. We chase symptoms. Oh my gosh, my thyroid doesn't work. I've got to go focus on my thyroid. Well, your thyroid's not working because your voltage is low. Let's get on top of the voltage and see what happens with our thyroid and then determine what we need to do. Oh, my hormones aren't balanced. I've got to do all of these things to balance my hormones. Well, let's get on top of voltage so that we can see the difference in our hormones. And then when you add those other things, they're more effective because your body is literally lit up with electrons that move. That's what voltage is. Soaking in magnesium. Adding appropriate levels of salt. Now that's going to be very different for you than it is for me. Adding whole food sources of potassium. This is my favorite. Harmless Harvest is my absolute favorite and has been ever since I started talking about magnesium. It is such a great whole food source of potassium, and salt is key for hydration. Salt pushes the water into our cells. And if we don't have enough salt, we can be drinking all that water, but our body's not absorbing it. I see that becoming a massive issue over the last couple of years, where before people could just drink more water and get hydrated. And now, as we become more and more imbalanced as a society, we need to make sure that that voltage is there so that our cells can uptake that water and stay hydrated. The goal is hydration. Magnesium is hydrophilic. It moves in a hydrated body. I am someone who has always had low blood pressure, which means I am chugging salt a lot. I take more salt than most people do. That works for me. I can't tell you what your salt needs are. Only you can determine that, what your salt needs are. And it depends on how your body's functioning at the moment. It depends on the sodium that you get from foods. It depends on how you eat, depends on your blood pressure. There are so many factors that go into how much salt. Potassium. I can do loads of potassium. If you've got kidney issues, you've got to be careful with your potassium. On certain medications, you've got to be careful with your potassium. I'm a huge fan of whole food potassium. Those three things are what create voltage. And when our voltage is strong, we light up. And when our voltage is strong, the quality of our thoughts change. And it becomes easier to see things through a positive lens. It becomes easier to be kind to ourselves because of the nutrients that our body has. Have you ever seen someone who's just lit up? You can tell they feel good. Those kind of people have stronger voltage. Healthy women have strong voltage. They've built that foundation. Now, we know for balanced hormones, omega-3 fatty acid profile is key. You need a strong omega-3 fatty acid profile for hormones, because if you don't have a strong omega-3 fatty acid profile, you could have all the hormones that your body needs and they can't connect with each other. Think of the omega-3 fatty acids like a bridge for the hormones to get together and create balance. And if stress, cortisol, breaks down an omega-3 fatty acid profile. But we don't want to start there. We start with magnesium, salt, potassium. And then we add the next layers of, okay, let's look at our omega-3 fatty acid profile. Let's look at how we're managing that cortisol. That way, you're doing things that are easier than chasing a symptom, adding a supplement, not, does it even work? I've got a cupboard full of supplements and I'm not sure. Making sure that your foundation is covered is key. Now, can you speak a little bit more? Susie, I am so glad I just caught this question. Let me scroll down here and I'll make sure. Excuse me, can you speak a little bit more on how we determine our own salt levels? Yes, but please remember, I am not a doctor. I am not prescribing, I am not diagnosing, and I'm not telling you what to do. When we are on social media, especially, we need to make sure that we are taking full on responsibility and focusing focusing on making the best decisions for ourselves. So please remember that, Susie, as I just share some things that have helped me, that they may not work for you in the situation that you're in. I'd love to share them. When I was determining my personal salt needs and realizing that when my energy dropped, that if I put a little bit of salt in a glass of water and drank it, my energy picked up. Why? Because my voltage became stronger because of the minerals in the salt. And your blood pressure is the first thing I would look at when determining how much salt you're taking. And if you've got high blood pressure, it's going to be a different pathway of how much salt that you take. If you are taking a medication for high blood pressure, it's going to be a different pathway. If you're not on medications and your blood pressure isn't high, I just started adding grains of salt, and I looked for dehydration. Was it drying out my lips? Did my tongue feel dry? How was my hydration? And how were my energy levels? And I'm not talking about like, oh, I take a little bit of salt and I can go run a marathon. I'm talking about just that boost. I just felt a little bit more focused and I didn't have as much of a slump in the day. And playing with how much you're taking. I had to go over how much I needed a little bit. My hands started to swell and I realized, oh, too much. So, I've got too much sodium going into my body. Let's adjust what I'm taking because we don't want our hands swelling. And so that's how I looked at it. And knowing that I took more than someone who had really high blood pressure because my blood pressure just runs a little bit lower than what it should be. High blood pressure is a quick deterioration of health, like boom, it can happen quickly. Low blood pressure is a long-term slow burn, taking down your health. And so neither of them are good, and finding that balance in the middle. I like to put some on my tongue and then drink the water, or I like to just mix it in my water. And I test my blood pressure in the morning, and so I'll use that to guide how much I'm doing. So for example, this morning it was a bit lower than what it usually is. Yesterday I did not get enough water. And so instead of just taking a pinch a couple times throughout the day, I filled my water bottle with salt, knowing that every time I drank water, I would get that little boost of salt. And I put about 1/8 of a teaspoon in my water, in my first water bottle. It's not so salty that I don't like drinking it. I can definitely taste the salt, but it's not like, oh, I don't want to drink that because of the taste. And I'll determine after I've gotten through that water, okay, where am I at? How am I feeling? How is my hydration? Am I running to the bathroom when I drink? Because that can be a sign that if the water's just running through you, that can be a sign that you don't have enough sodium to push it into the cell. And so those are the things that I did. Always remember, I'm not a doctor, not diagnosing, not prescribing. And for me, and I've seen clients do this too over the years, you play around with it and then watch how much are you going to the bathroom, where's your blood pressure at, are if any swelling in your hands or feet, obviously that's too much salt. Now I have seen in the past though, Susie, that some people don't swell when they get too much salt. They don't get puffy, and that's an adrenal. If your adrenals are just shot and you just are running on cortisol, that's how you create energy. Have those people that there's just always drama around them. Well, that's a way that they've figured out to create energy in their body to keep going, because they stay in that heightened cortisol. And if you've done that, not you, Susie, but if we, let me do that. I don't want to point fingers. If we have done that, throughout the years, then we're shutting down the feedback system loop that our body gives us. And so please know that some people don't get that feedback loop. And just to add more and more and more and more salt would not be beneficial or healthy. So remember, there's balance in all things. But that's what I look at, is how often am I using the bathroom? Are my hands swelling? And where is my blood pressure at? I'm not on medications that affect blood pressure or would change my ability to take salt. And I don't eat a lot of canned foods. And so because of that, or prepared, like pre-prepared foods. And so because of that, I can take more of a good salt. Now, this is currently my favorite. It's changed throughout the years as we learn different things, but this has a beautiful mineral content. It's the Baja Gold Mineral Sea Salt. Okay. Oh my gosh, Teresa, are you serious? Harmless Harvest is out of stock. I have this on like regular shipment, so I'll have to go. Oh, Susie, I'm so glad that helped. Thank you for letting me know that. Is what I would do where it's out of stock, because this number one, it tastes so good, and it doesn't have the high sugar content and the modified starches like other coconut waters. If I couldn't get my hands on this, I would go to the local health food store and see if they have Harmless Harvest. And if I couldn't get my hands on it there, I would just start reading the back of directions. Oh, I didn't know it's from Oakland, California. Interesting. If I couldn't get my hands on Harmless Harvest, I would look at the other ones that the local health food store had and just find the one with the least amount of ingredients. Or you could switch and get your focus on potassium from other places. I'm a juicer, and I would juice some celery. And is what I do is I'll juice a bunch of celery, and then I'll fill it. I have little glass bottles that are skinny that I put the juice in, and I fill it right to the top, like it's almost bubbled, and then I put the lid on, because that keeps the oxidation down in the celery juice. And I'll store it in my fridge for a couple days. And I know a lot of people will get on and say, oh, it's not as fresh, but half is better than nothing. So let's say it went down by half in its ability, it's still better than nothing. And Teresa, I don't know if you can order straight from the website with Harmless Harvest. I'm not sure. I'm going to check that out too, but because I've never even thought of that. Anytime I can support a locally owned health food store, I am all over that. My money has power, and where I put that power makes a difference in the world that we live in. And I do everything and anything that I can to support small, locally owned businesses, because they hire local people. It creates jobs in the economy that you live in, and they tend to be more passionate about what they're doing. Oh, V, thank you so much. Walmart and Target carry them, Teresa. So you might want to check there also. I didn't realize that. We don't have a Target around us, and I have never looked for them at other big box stores. And so this is just my favorite, but there are other ways. White beans have loads of potassium. Orange juice. When I'm in California, I squeeze a lot of fresh orange juice, and then you can add a little pinch of cream of tartar. A teaspoon of cream of tartar has about 500 milligrams of potassium, but remember, it's synthetic potassium. It's been processed, and anytime we process anything, we get less benefit from it. I will do that though if I just haven't gotten my potassium for the day. I'll I'll put in a pinch of sea salt. I'll put in a pinch of salt. I'll add the cream of tartar and fresh orange juice. And then I love to add a little bit of coconut cream because you're getting that healthy fat for your adrenals. You're getting potassium, you're getting salt. You're getting about 400 milligrams of potassium from about a half a cup of fresh orange juice, usually a little bit more potassium, but average about 400 milligrams. And that is so supporting to voltage. And that's what we started talking about was voltage, because voltage keeps your body lit up and it becomes easier to become a high quality person. The food you eat, the thoughts that you think determine the your body. Let me explain this. Let me pull back a little bit. We have resonance, and the higher your resonance, the easier it is to do things. Voltage determines that resonance, the quality of our thoughts, the quality of our foods that we eat. Now, do I eat perfectly? No, please don't buy into it that I do. Please, I beg of you, don't project on me that I do everything perfect. I am living proof that imperfect action gets you healthier. I am walking, living proof of that. And please do not project on me that I eat perfectly. I don't. I do want to include those high quality foods and maintaining my voltage. If anything goes off, oh, Teresa, yeah, it's interesting, Teresa, local, if you own a business, it's a different level of passion, isn't it, about supporting local businesses. And so that's always my first go-to is a locally owned business. And sadly, our little locally owned health food store here in Cache Valley closed down. We do have a health food store. It's a massive chain though. Anyway, so I just always try to go local first. But getting back to that, the quality of our thoughts and the quality of our food, it makes things easier. If you ever have had that thought, oh, it's just so hard, grab something to build your voltage. Potassium, magnesium, salt. Oh, wait, I have to tell you before I hop off. Okay, so many things happening at Living the Good Life Naturally. And number one, today, when you make a purchase and the rest of the month, you earn Good Life cash. Now, Good Life cash is accumulated in your account to use in January. So when you purchase things now, like let's say you're getting the magnesium, or you recognize that adrenals need healthy fats and you want olive oil or spray, or you want your energies tanked a little bit and you want some whole food B vitamins, the desiccated liver, anything that you purchase, you're going to earn Good Life cash. In January, you can use that Good Life cash for whatever it is that you're needing. But here's the thing I'm most excited about. Tomorrow, we're doing a 12 days of Christmas. So each day, one thing will go on sale. And they're different things, different bundles, different combinations. So not only is it on sale, not only do you earn Good Life cash, but those of you that shopped Black Friday and hit the requirements, you have a 20% off coupon that can go on top of the 12 days of Christmas. Now, I have never layered those many things. A lot of people will, oh, I want to use this coupon and this coupon and this coupon. I'm like, you can only use one coupon. We're a family-owned business, and I am not a major corporation that you can stack all of those things. But all the time people are asking, and so you can stack some things. Now, Not all of the 12 days you'll be able to use that coupon, because some of them I have dropped the price at the very lowest, and you can't add it on top of that. But we're layering those things so you can earn good life cash to spend later. You get the sale price, just all sorts of things happening with that 12 days of Christmas. 12, see, it's a holiday. Oh gosh, we had some fun little name for it. Now I can't remember. Holiday 12, 12 days good life edition. Oh, I can't remember what we called it. We had a really good name for it, and I can't remember what it is, but I love the counting down. In our family, we have the tradition with my grandchildren that we do 12 days, and I give them 12 experiences with grandma and papa to connect with them, love on them, and share in that spirit of giving and receiving that that our family does this time of year. Oh, here it is. Thanks, Shelley. 12 Days of Living the Good Life, Holiday Edition. Each day, a new deal just for you. Now, for those of you on the email newsletter, it will come out every day. If you don't want to get 12 days of emails, because it will be one every single day for 12 days, you can opt out of just those. Like, you can still stay on the newsletter, but you can just click a link and say, I don't want 12 days. I think you'll be surprised though at some of the things I have planned for you. Donna, I love my magnesium soaks. Would love to know what form of boron is best to be added to the bath or foot soak water. This is a great question, Donna, and thank you for asking it so that I can clarify this. Boron in the soaking water does not benefit you internally with boron. Boron, the molecular size of boron, it's very, very, very minute, minuscule, let's say minuscule amounts are taken through your skin. The reason you would put boron in your water is if you have hard water, it will change the pH of the water. So for example, I have lots of family in southern Utah, and they've got lots of iron in their water from the red rocks. And a pinch of boron, just a pinch, like a pinch, will change the pH of their water and make it easier to uptake the magnesium that you're soaking in. So there's one pathway of boron. I take oral boron, and I use Trace Minerals ionic boron. Shelley, could you throw up a link for that? Oh, Becky. So Becky says, yes, you can order this directly from Harmless Harvest. And so Harmless Harvest, I would love to collab with them. That's one of my goals in 2025. I want to collab with Harmless Harvest, because this has been my number one all-time favorite coconut water from the beginning of living the good life naturally. The quality has not changed. It's incredible. I love it. So, and Becky just shared, yes, you can order it directly, where a couple of people have said that it's out on Amazon. Okay, so going back to the boron internally, that boron helps you hold magnesium in your cells when you have it inside. Boron helps reduce inflammation very quickly. I am someone that my C-reactive protein, which shows inflammation levels in your body, I have to actively stay on top of that. My body just jumps inflammation quickly and easily, unless I'm putting certain things into place to keep that C-reactive protein down, which is my personal inflammation numbers. I test my C-reactive protein once a year. So it's a slow moving test, meaning, let's say I tested it today and then added some boron and then tested in a month. It's not going to show that my levels have dropped. It's a slow moving test. So once a year, I test it, I look at that number, and I ask myself, did my inflammation go up? Did my inflammation go down with the goals and action that I took over the year? When boron is added internally, it can be an incredible pain reducer, because it drops inflammation so quickly. It's not for everyone, and too much can cause issues. And please remember, I am not a doctor. I am not diagnosing. I'm not prescribing. I'm not telling you to go slam boron, because if you have polycystic ovarian syndrome, PCOS, it's going to make it worse. Too much boron can increase testosterone levels. Polycystic, you're converting to testosterone too fast. Adding boron increases that conversion. And boron is not something that I take every single day of every single year to keep my magnesium levels low, because it can change my hormone levels. And so adding boron internally is it's something that you make sure that you understand behind it, you understand your body, and making sure that it's a good fit for you, because it's not for everyone. Each quarter, I look at my life in quarters. And Teresa, I would love to know if you do too, as another fellow female entrepreneur. I just look at everything in quarters, because my accountant looks at things in quarters and I have to have quarterly things done. And so I look quarterly at my decision of how much boron I'm adding and what is a good fit for my body. And sometimes it's nope, I'm not doing any, and other times it's I'm adding some boron. So right now I'm adding boron. I took some boron this morning. Anytime we have pain in the body, keeping our voltage up, anytime here, anytime we have anywhere. Like if my knee is acting up, I made the mistake of having my knee scoped and scraped years and years and years ago. It was the worst thing I ever did. My knee's been worse ever since. And anytime my knee is acting up, the first thing I look at is my voltage. If my throat is sore, the first thing I look at is my voltage, because increasing voltage helps my body to heal more efficiently. If my throat gets hoarse, I look at my voltage, and voltage needs hydration. Achieving magnesium cell saturation is key to voltage. It's the first mineral. Now, if you're really, really low, you've also dropped your potassium. And if you've dropped your potassium, when you soak in magnesium, you'll become exhausted. So some people need to do this together. Oh, I don't know why that just did. Oh my goodness. Like, why did that just do that? I'm not sure what just happened. Okay, I am now having to, oh, there. I don't know why my camera did that. And then making sure you've got enough salt. I'm loving the Baja Gold is my current favorite. And that changes. I've done a Celtic sea salt, I've done French sea salt, but currently this one is my favorite. Making sure that voltage helps you light up. It lights up your body. It lights up what your body can access in terms of electrons moving through your body. It lights you up at the cellular level. When we have the basics of foundation of voltage in place on our foundation, I've seen it over and over again. Dialogue becomes easier. Maybe it's, I don't know, you don't want to go, the Christmas, think of the Christmas thing and Christmas and holiday traditions and all of the extras that you have to do. And I know our family, sometimes there's some struggles when everybody gets together. I raised a lot of leaders, and sometimes those leaders all want to be chief at the same time. And there can get some conflict can happen, and it can be hard. And then inside I'm like, oh, I didn't do this, and I should have taught them this, and why didn't they say it this way? Just all of those things. When our voltage is strong, we are less reactive in situations. And think about it, during this holiday season, no matter what holiday you are celebrating the traditions of, how do you want people to feel when they're around you? Will they really remember the things you're worried about? Well, is it really that important? Or do you just want to focus on loving on people and them knowing how important they are to you. That's my goal. And when my dialogue, that inner dialogue, is positive, I'm able to share more light and more resonance. I see it across the board in clients. No, it's not a study. I've seen it over and over and over for the last 25 years. Adding that voltage, making sure that you have the electrical energy in your body makes everything easier. Magnesium, salt, potassium, magnesium cell saturation, salt to regulate your hydration levels because magnesium is hydrophilic, potassium to help get everything working. That voltage is what makes a difference in our personality. Oh, Ember. Oh, the first time on the live. I'm so glad to have you here today, Ember. This is a great time to stock up on magnesium if you're out. We have the Good Life Cash that you'll earn so that the next time you need to stock up on magnesium, you've got some Good Life Cash that'll reduce that price. And we also have the 12 days of Christmas starting, or 12 days of holiday starting tomorrow, Ember. And so there will be a flash sale. Every day, one thing will be on sale, and you can earn that Good Life Cash and all sorts of good things. So this is a great time. Oh, Donna, you have a whole house filter, so your water is soft. Okay, my mom. Oh my gosh, Donna, are you serious? Thank you for sharing. Thank you. In your groups, I can't tell you what that means to me. That means you and I have built a trust bank, and that's everything to me. Thank you. That's what helps to keep the price of magnesium when people, share it with their friends or talk about it or say, hey, have you learned this about magnesium? And I just, oh, thank you so very much. I want to talk about your soft water though. My mom lives in St. George and has a water softener. Okay, Mama, my mom watches my lives. Mama, I'm going to share this. It's when we shower there, we don't feel like we're clean because of the amount of water softener in her water. We're just not used to it. And when a water softener is used, I would always put, when possible, I would always put a pinch of boron if you're using a water softener, because it's going to help the pH of the water to uptake more. Massive more? No, but enough that it's worth having. I have mine just in a cute little glass that sits on my counter, so I can just grab a pinch and put it in when I need it. And if you have a water softener, absolutely, I would focus on having that boron as often as possible in my water to utilize the uptake. It was great being with you. I would love for you to join us on our 12 days of, let's see, what was it? 12 days of Living the Good Life Holiday Edition. Shelley put that up for me. Starts tomorrow, and it will be one thing on sale, like for one day only. And so you can jump in and grab that pricing. I know many people right now, I'm doing a magnesium challenge on January 10th, a magnesium 30-day challenge. And I will be opening that to the public. Sometimes I do it privately with groups that I'm running that are paid. Sometimes I do it public. This year I will be doing a public one. And I would love to have you join me. You'll need to do that 30-day challenge. You need 2 bottles of magnesium. It's on the website, on the magnesium page. A lot of people miss that though. And so 2 bottles of magnesium soak if you're going to join me January 10th in starting that 30-day magnesium challenge. And I'd love to have you be a part of that. The 12 days starts tomorrow. Orders that come in today, you start earning Good Life Cash today. And that Good Life cash can be spent in January. So think of like what Old Navy does. Like I just went to Old Navy with a daughter and they gave her like some things back, little bucks. I don't have a physical one to hand you, but you do get that in your account and then you can save that and use it in January in case you need to purchase anything in January. So loved being with you today. Thank you so much for the interaction, the questions, and the absolutely gracious comments. Oh, for those who are doing local pickup, is Friday? Friday's the last day, right, Shelly? Okay, I'm watching Shelly's. Friday is the last day to pick up your order. Pickups are in 110. So the address, 753 North. No, 950. Oh my gosh. 953 West, 700 North. And I have several bays now. I used to just have 104, but now we go down to 110 also. And 110 is where you pick up that order. And on Friday at 5:30, we will refund those orders that are not picked up, and they will not be able to repurchase at that price that you got them. And so if you're a local, please, and you chose local pickup, please come pick your order up. Shelly is going to start today. She'll literally spend 2 days texting, calling, emailing to remind people to come pick that order up. So locals, please don't forget, if you placed an order, the last day to be able to pick that up is Friday. We're open from 10 until 5:30 in Suite 110. And some of the locals are used to going to 104. So Suite 110, that's got a big wreath on the door and a little Christmas tree. And it's the room that I usually stream from, that you can see the blue on the walls and the records and the flowers and all of that kind of thing. And so we'd love for you to come get that order picked up from 10 until 5:30. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and then that closes down. It was lovely being with you today. How's your voltage? Keeping that voltage up lights you up. Think of saying, I love you, or think of saying, I love you. Your body has a higher voltage, and it shows in the physicality of how you show up for the people that you love, making sure that that voltage is strong, soaking in magnesium, proper salt levels, and proper potassium levels. And Harmless Harvest, we love you. We love your product. We love how clean it is. And we love the fact that it doesn't have all of the ingredients added and how it tastes. Baja Gold is my current favorite. And you know me, I'm that mag lady. 25 years I've been talking magnesium, and it's more needed today than it was when I started 25 years ago. Help me end magnesium deficiency by 2055. That's my goal. 2055. Magnesium deficiency will not be an issue anymore, and we can move on to something else. And I thank you so much, Donna, for helping me spread the word, because when a woman feels good, she wakes up and she lifts people around her, versus when she's exhausted and she's just doing everything she can to make it through the day. And we need more women standing up, feeling really good, because it makes a difference for children. I also want to share, yesterday, I did a Giving Tuesday, and 5% of every order yesterday I donated to Little Lambs. And so this morning when I woke up, that was my first thing. I typically don't go right to my phone, but this morning I did, and did my numbers really fast so that I could PayPal the Little Lambs Foundation. They are a nonprofit who support children in need here in Cache Valley. They're amazing. They're just incredible, and they make such a difference for people, and especially the little humans. They just make such a difference. And today I was able to donate more than I ever have because of what was purchased yesterday. And to me, that is the reason Living the Good Life Naturally is here, is to connect and help make a difference in our corner of the world. And the magnesium and the products that you purchased yesterday helped me to make the biggest difference I've ever been able to make financially to the Little Lambs Foundation. So thank you so very much for that. I was a little teary this morning as I sent that PayPal, and I'm actually going to go over today and talk with them because we have some new things that will be on the website for 2025 in order for, maybe you're like me and you want to do a little roundup that makes a difference with a nonprofit that is truly making a difference in the world, not a nonprofit that they're paying a CEO tens of thousands of millions of dollars to run the nonprofit. And Little Lambs Foundation, 100% of it goes back into the community to help families who are in stress and need a little supporting hand. I was in stress when I first started my family. It was just my son and I was a single mom, and I got some help, and it helped me. It helped bridge during that time that was really uncertain for me. And I want to, I've been on that receiving end and I want to be on the giving end also. And yesterday you helped me give more than I ever have. So thank you. And tomorrow I have to read it again. 12 Days of Living the Good Life holiday edition starts. And I would love to know if you participate in our 12 Days holiday edition. Bye.